What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, and welcome to Real Talk Live with Lane and Trish, keeping you informed year-round about real estate and other cool stuff.
There's lots of other cool stuff again this week, isn't there?
There is.
I can't believe it's already been another week since we
Yeah.
were live. I mean, I know I say that every week, but time is flying right now. It's going by fast. I guess that's because we're busy. So I'm glad to have you back with us again this week. I missed you last week.
Yeah, I was out. I had an appointment that kind of went over, but it's a good problem to have when you're in real estate. So
Yeah, I can't believe we're already almost all the way through June. It's like, where's the summer
crazy.
going?
It's
But
crazy. I don't know.
it is officially and definitely, without a doubt, the busy summer selling season.
It's summertime, for sure.
We are busy, but I love it. Wouldn't have it any other way.
It's
So
great.
what all have we done this week since we saw you guys last? Have we done anything fun?
Yeah, we went to see the dinosaurs last week.
We did go see the
Jurassic
dinosaurs.
Park, the new one. What is it called? Jurassic World?
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World, yeah. But
Fallen Kingdom.
I don't know. I kind of give it a thumbs down just because I don't know. I was really tired, and it was late at night. It was at 10:30, 11 o'clock.
I think it was almost 11. It was the night it opened,
Just
and
past our bedtime. We're
that
getting
was
old.
the earliest we could
But,
get a seat. So
I don't know. The CGI and just the character development, everything. The storyline wasn't that great.
I didn't like the
I
storyline
don't
at
know.
all.
I mean, I'm guess it was decent, but I'm gonna go
Thumbs
try
down
it.
for me.
I'm gonna try it again and see how I like it when I'm not quite so tired. But anyway, it was okay.
Yeah, and then Saturday, let's say I had a great buyer appointment Saturday. It was a
Yeah.
great little young couple that I met her at the wedding fair show a couple weeks ago, and then her fiance joined us, and we met and started their home buying process.
Yep.
They're getting ready to get married, so we've got them on a path to purchase over the next several months as they get everything in order. So
Good stuff.
excited about that. And then we have a new listing that's coming available in shirts probably next week. So we were working to get some stuff ready with that.
Get the photos
and,
done, all that.
Working on
Yeah.
getting photos scheduled. And this one's really cool. If you've got anyone that you know looking in the shirts area, this used to be a model home for one of the builders. So we're excited to have it hit the market.
God,
And,
shirts is growing so fast out there.
I know
The
that whole
market's
area up and down
incredible. Yeah.
35, which we're up and down 35 a lot too. In fact, Monday we were up in Austin.
Yeah, Austin was fun. It was always a good time to go up there. We had to stop by the Texas Real Estate Commission, take care of a little bit of business, and then we met with the Austin crew for a few minutes, and then we actually went and stopped by something they don't have in San Antonio. I wish they did. Waffle House.
It's been about 3.5 years since we ate at Waffle House.
Yeah. Waffle House we have history with Waffle House. We actually met in a Waffle House in Montgomery, Alabama back in 1996 before high school. And so lots of fun. Always loved to.
Yeah, the only
go to
thing that
Waffle House.
we didn't eat what we usually would eat at Waffle House.
Got to keep it keto.
We had to try and keep it keto this time.
Yep.
So no waffles, no sandwiches
Yep.
or anything like that. But we had omelets and we had bacon and all kinds of yummy stuff.
Yeah, that's all you really need. I mean, Waffle House is
It was
good
good.
either
In
way.
fact, we vlogged about all of it. So I'll
Yep.
post a link in the comments here, and you guys can check out our Waffle House excursion if you want. So
And we have to get on getting them to put a Waffle House in San Antonio.
We need one.
It'd
We
be
need
so
one.
busy. It'd be packed every day, I think.
Yes.
But I don't know.
Who knows?
Yep.
But so tonight, the reason we are meeting with you guys live today, a little earlier than usual, I've got a pretty exciting event tonight. I'm excited about it anyway.
Yeah,
so,
super exciting.
It's the 2018 book launch for the Inspiring Woman book, and it's featuring 50 local San Antonio women, and I am actually featured in the book, so I'm
exciting.
excited.
I'm proud of
Yeah,
you.
so the event's going to be super fun tonight. So hoping a good turnout. It should be a good majority of the women from the book that'll be there, and I can't wait to meet everyone, hear their stories, and
Yep.
and all that. So I don't know if I'm supposed to have anything to say or a speech or anything.
You'll
but
figure it out. You always do. You're
I'll
good
wing
at
it.
that.
I'll wing it. I do better
not
that
so good
way.
at that.
Yeah, I do better when I wing it. So let's just dive right in. We are today doing part 3 of our 3-part series on how to take a tactical approach when buying a home in an ultra-competitive market.
Yep.
We've already covered sessions 1 and 2, part 1 and 2, which part 1 was the importance of a pre-approval. And with that, we talked about the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification, as well as actual lender selection and how important that is as far as the beginning of your process.
Super
and getting
important
through
stuff,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and then session 2, part 2, which I did last week by myself because we were missing you.
Yeah, I was out.
was structuring and presenting a strong offer and how to put together a really great offer that's concise and clean and just one that'll stand out above other offers that are coming in, especially when we've got multiple offer situations, and hopefully help you win that.
With all this competition out there, you got to have a strong offer and something that stands out a little bit differently than everything else they're getting. So,
Yep, it's super important.
Yep.
So, and then today, part 3, which is contract to close. So you've gotten your offer accepted, yay. Now what, right? So typically the first thing that happens after your contract is accepted is you're going to start your option period. And depending on what you've negotiated in your contract, you'll have a specific amount of days for your option period, and you do pay for these days, so that's why you do usually give a check. That's your option fee check. Typical fee for option period is $10 a day, and we customarily see options 7 days, 10 days, so you're looking at $70, $100, somewhere in there. But like we talked about last session too, was if you want your offer to stand out, sometimes you'll put more money towards that option period. So, and not a whole lot, but even just doubling it or whatever will show the seller that you're serious. But during that option period, it gives you time to really get in there and look at the home a little bit more, because a lot of the time, you're contracting on a home, only seeing it once or twice, so you're not seeing it a whole bunch of different times. But that's, why you've got the option period, and you'll hire a third-party inspector to come during this time, which is a real important part of the process, so that they can get in there and really, really pick the house apart. And trust me, they're going to. You're going to get a list back from the inspector that's like 60 or
sometimes those lists are
70
kind of scary.
pages.
Sometimes people get a little scared.
Yeah, so don't be scared by it. I've had buyers that were literally scared to walk back in the house after they saw the inspection report.
They think it's going to fall over, it's going to fall down on them.
That it's going to collapse around them. But and now every now and then there is a house like that. So, but most of the time it's just them doing their job. So that's what you've hired them to do. They're going to take every bit of that house and make sure things are functioning correctly, and everything. But the main things that we're looking for with an inspection is going to be your structural stuff, your safety issues, and functionality. So your inspector will be able to go over the inspection report with you and let you know what everything means in there, with all the inspector lingo and all of that. And obviously your real estate agent will help as well. But in this kind of market, we've got to be kind of careful too that we don't nitpick on items from the inspection report and ask the sellers for too much, because they don't have to agree to them. And during this inspection time, when you get that, and you're still in your option period, a lot of times negotiation will open back up. So you get the report back, review it, and then figure out what items from there that...
Sometimes you can almost offend the seller if you come back with too many items.
Yeah, if you're coming back with a whole bunch of little things and a ton of cosmetic stuff. It's to be expected that the house is lived in when you're buying a pre-owned home. Yeah. And even when you're buying a new construction home, there's going to be items that show up on that inspection list, and there's going to be items that need to be addressed.
Yeah, especially in a market like this where it's highly competitive, and sellers can be a little bit more picky on the offers they accept. So, they have several offers
so
coming
even
in
though
every
you've
day
already gotten your initial offer accepted, there is usually a little bit of negotiations that happen during that option period. So get with your realtor, go over those items, figure out what's most important to you, and then get a nice concise list together, nothing too crazy. When it comes to cosmetic stuff, we're not seeing a whole lot of that in what sellers will agree to these days. Pretty much every AC is going to have to be cleaned. We're going to see that a lot, So putting that list together, and then the negotiations as to whether or not those are going to be repaired, or maybe the seller will contribute a little bit more money towards closing or something like that, and cover it with that. So that's your first one, is your option period. But there's there's several dates and deadlines that you've got to be cautious that about from the very beginning.
Those dates can really creep up on you, so be sure to put all those in your calendar, in your phone, everywhere you keep important dates as soon as you start to find out about them.
So get with your agent right at the time you guys are contracting, and say, okay, what dates is it that I need to know about? So your option period is definitely one of the first ones, and our option period actually ends at 5 p.m. here in Texas. So you've got until 5 p.m. on the date of that deadline to make sure that any items are addressed as far as agreeing upon, negotiating and actually signed off on. They don't have to be completed, but they do have to be signed and agreed upon by that 5 p.m. deadline. Otherwise, you are accepting the house as is, or if for any reason you're going to terminate during the option period, it's got to be by that 5 p.m. deadline. So hopefully you're not terminating and you haven't come up with too many crazy items on that list. But your next thing is going to be your deadline for your financing. And you've started off with a pre-approval, which is great, but then you're going to have a deadline for when the lender and you are going to need to provide an actual pre-approval or a denial in the case that for some reason they can't approve the loan. So your earnest money is, if you've made it contingent on your financing approval, the contract is contingent on that, you actually can get your earnest money back if for some reason they don't approve you, but it does have to be done before that deadline. So be cautious of that date too. And then of course your closing date. So that's the exciting date. But things can happen and come up. Every transaction is different. So there is an agreed upon on or before date with the contract. But if things come up, then you need to get with your agent, whether it's a lender issue or whatever it is, and that you'd have to get back with the seller and see if you guys can agree to some sort of extension or sometimes a lease back, or there's different things, different options when there's delays in closing. So, and then we're talking about the lender stuff and that. So there's a lot of documents and requirements that the lenders are going to ask from you.
Tons of stuff.
Yeah, it's always going to be a lot more than you think it's going to be too. So try not to be offended if they're asking for a bunch of stuff. It's like, why do they need my second child's blood type? No, they're not going to ask for that. But they're going to ask for a lot of stuff. So be ready to get them those items and do your absolute best to get everything over to them in a timely manner. So it's important, for them to be able to get through their steps of the process. They'll have to get everything to the underwriter. It'll then go in review. Usually they'll have conditions and ask you for more stuff. So it is a process, but just understand that everyone's working towards that goal of getting you into your new awesome house.
Yep.
Yeah, so that with the lender docs. And then once you've gotten through your option period and you've gotten through that financing contingency deadline, we are in the home stretch, as I like to call it.
Almost done.
So one more thing will come in there as far as a deadline or a date, but it's not something that you have to meet or worry about. So the appraiser will be ordered, and so the appraisal is something that the lender orders, and there's not really any control over who the appraiser is. They get assigned to it, just so that there's no favoritism or anything, nothing funky going on with who out there is given the value on the home. But essentially, the appraisal is something that the lender wants to see so that they know their assessed value of the home, so they know what they're willing to loan on it. And that's where that comes into place. So we've done three things. We've gotten through our option period. We've gotten all the stuff to the lender. The appraisal's been ordered. We've gotten financing approval. And then guess what? It's almost time for closing. During this time, one of the most important things you can do is have really great communication with your team.
Yeah, communication is key.
We keep talking about the team, and you are obviously an important part of that team, and your awesome agent is obviously part of the important part of that team.
You got it.
But the lender, we now have the title people involved. The inspector was part of it. So having that communication with the team is crucial to make sure that everything goes smoothly and that you get to the closing table without too many hiccups. So you're going to want to keep an eye out for, obviously, any communication from everyone. Keep an eye out for email. Some people don't check email regularly as much these days with, texts and Facebook Messenger and all that kind of stuff. But most of your communication from the title company is going to come in the form of an email. So you'll want to keep your eye on that because you're going to be getting stuff from the lender and the title company, your closing disclosure, which is, going over all of the numbers, the final numbers, telling you, exactly what you're going to need to bring to closing and, and that kind of stuff. So with that too, I want to point out too, you're going to see most likely on the bottom of every email from your agent, as well as every email from the title company and possibly the lender, is a wire fraud notification. And this is something that, unfortunately we've got to deal with,
it's
these
unfortunate,
days.
but it happens.
Yeah. So there's scamming emails out there that are trying to get you to wire over your down payment and your closing costs to them instead to the title company, which can be obviously a huge headache and often very scary situation to be in. So if you get any emails or any kind of communication asking you for or providing you with different wiring instructions or things like that, pick up your phone and call the title company
verify it.
and verify with them only. So don't send it in an email. Don't do that. Just make sure that you're speaking to someone directly at the title company, because those emails can look just
like it, yeah.
like they're coming from the title company. I have never had to deal with it myself or with any of our clients, but we've heard some stories. So just keep your eye out for that. Be vigilant on making sure that you're double checking everything when it comes to that kind of stuff, and just be cautious and know that that's out there. So we've got closing day. So what is needed closing day? And again, your title company is going to let you know what you need to bring. Your driver's license. You'll know exactly how much money you need to either wire or bring in a cashier's certified check. Or if for any reason everyone who's a party to the contract or on the contract can't be there at closing, then a specific power of attorney can be put in place. And essentially that's, signing off that one person can sign for both parties or whatever. So in the event that's going to be an issue, just make sure you get with everybody ahead of time and everyone's aware of it, and the power of attorney can be put together and it can be signed off on and be ready for closing. So that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a process, and we understand that. But there's definitely a lot of things that you can do in conjunction, obviously, with your team to make it a smooth process and a fun process. It should be fun. So buying
lots of moving parts, but as long as you're patient and you go through all the different steps, I mean, you can expedite it and get everything done, fairly smoothly.
Yeah. So smooth is always the goal. We know there's hiccups and there's stuff that comes up, a lot. We'll just say it's not always smooth sailing, but
everything's different. I mean, every situation is different and every contract is different. So,
Yep, that's where we get to come in and help out. So we are always here to help. If you have any questions, with any of the, parts of the process or anything like that, you're always welcome to reach out. 210-771-5263. That's my direct line. You can call me or text me anytime. If we're on Facebook, you can message me. Whatever your mode of communication is that you prefer, I am probably on it, and you can reach out, and
we're always available.
Happy to help. Yeah. So, and of course, if you want a connection to a great lender or anything like that, we've got those too. So we are ready to help with the process. So any questions, anything we can do to help, let us know, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Next week's 4th of July, right? Not till what day?
Week.
So we'll keep you updated with our schedule for next week. We may move timing around
again.
We'll
still do something.
Yeah, we'll still do it, but we may move stuff around so that everyone can get out and enjoy the 4th of July holiday. So we are glad you joined us today, and until next time,
keep it real
and keep moving.